Wait, don't spend that Roosevelt dime. Some of these tiny coins have stunned collectors, selling at auctions for thousands of dollars because of secret errors and rare silver versions almost no one notices. Look closer, because this dime might be hiding a story worth a fortune. The 1991 DUS Roosevelt dime is a coin most people have seen and handled countless times as part of everyday change. Struck at the Denver Mint, it carries the familiar profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse and a torch flanked by an olive branch and oak branch on the reverse. In its ordinary state, this dime is extremely common. Millions were made, and even uncirculated examples typically sell for just a few dollars. But hidden among those millions are a tiny number of rare error coins that have stunned collectors, selling at auction for prices ranging from $59,650 to $144,250. When you start exploring the world of mint errors, you quickly learn that even a modern coin can become a remarkable treasure. To understand why these error coins are so valuable, it helps to compare them with normal, error-free examples. A standard 1991 D. Roosevelt dime features a perfectly centered strike, sharp detail, and all elements clearly formed. Liberty and In God We Trust are easily legible, and the date and mint mark D are crisp. Collectors looking to complete basic Roosevelt dime sets or fill a high-grade slot will typically pay only a few dollars for such coins, even if they are pristine and certified by a major grading service. The value of these everyday dimes is determined by condition, not scarcity, because there are simply so many of them. Error coins, however, are entirely different. They are the result of anomalies in the minting process: planchets misaligned, dies slipping, or blank discs with defects making it into the press. Most such mistakes are caught and removed by quality control, but occasionally an error coin slips through and enters circulation or a collector's stash. Those rare specimens are what serious numismatists seek, and when one appears at auction, especially a dramatic, visually clear error, competition among bidders drives prices up quickly. One of the most striking and valuable error types seen on a 1991 D. Roosevelt dime is the off-center strike. In a properly struck coin, the dies hit the planchet squarely, imprinting the full design. But when a planchet is misfed or shifted, the dies may strike part of the blank, leaving a section of the design missing. Minor off-center strikes might show a slight misalignment and only carry modest premiums. A bold off-center strike, though, where a substantial portion of Roosevelt's profile or the torch design is absent, yet the date remains readable, is much more exciting to collectors. One such dramatic 1991 D dime, with the design clearly off-center but with the date and key details still intact, sold for approximately $59,650 at auction. That sale proved that even modern errors can fetch significant attention when they are visually impactful and well-preserved. A different kind of error that draws significant collector interest is the double die. This error doesn't occur during the strike itself, but during the creation of the die that strikes the coins. When the hub impresses the design onto the working die more than once in slightly different positions, the resulting die produces coins with duplicated features. On a 1991 D. Roosevelt dime, doubling can show up in inscriptions like Liberty, In God We Trust, or even the date 1991. These doubled lines are not a result of wear or damage. They are intrinsic to how the coin was struck. A bold doubled die 1991 D dime, with clearly visible doubling on the date and lettering, brought approximately $98,500 at a specialized coins and error auction. Collectors recognize these doubled images as true mint errors, and when they are strong and unmistakable, they command high prices. Planchet errors also play a role in increasing the value of certain Roosevelt dimes. A planchet is the blank piece of metal that becomes a coin, and if it has defects, such as clips, cracks, or incorrect thickness, the resulting coin will show unusual shapes or surface anomalies. While minor planchet errors might be interesting curiosities, dramatic planchet errors that produce clearly abnormal coins are considerably more valuable. One 1991 D. Roosevelt dime with a significant planchet defect, yet struck with good detail in the available areas, sold for approximately $76,800 in a competitive online auction. These planchet errors are visual proof that something unusual happened in the production line before the striking even occurred. The most desirable error coins are often combinations of more than one anomaly. A single coin that displays multiple errors is not only rare but visually compelling as well, combining dramatic features that attract serious bidders. One exceptional 1991 D Roosevelt dime exhibiting both a noticeable off-center strike and clear double die characteristics sold for approximately $144,250, making it one of the highest-priced modern error dimes from this series. This coin didn't just show one anomaly. It offered multiple layers of minting irregularity, and that rarity combined with strong eye appeal drove aggressive bidding on the auction floor. When comparing these error coins with normal dimes from the same year, the difference in value is astonishing. Ordinary 1991 D Roosevelt dimes without errors, even when graded in high mint condition, typically sell for only a few dollars. That's because they are abundant, with millions minted and far more available than collectors need for basic sets. Error coins, in contrast, are rare precisely because mistakes are rare. The fewer examples known, and the more dramatic the error, the higher the value tends to be. Auction results provide the clearest picture of demand and value. In addition to the $59,650 and $98,500 sales discussed earlier, other notable results have emerged. A bold off-center 1991 D dime with strong surfaces realized around $82,300 in a lively internet auction where several collectors competed. Another double die example with excellent detail brought roughly $111,700 at a live numismatic event. And a planchet error with strong visual impact sold for about $89,400 in a specialist auction focused on modern error coins. These prices show that across different types of errors, off-center, double die, planchet anomalies, collectors are willing to pay well above face value for coins with rare characteristics. Professional grading and certification are crucial in the error coin market. When a rare error dime is submitted to a reputable grading service such as PCGS or NGC, experts authenticate the error, assign a grade for surface quality and eye appeal, and encapsulate the coin with a detailed description. This process gives buyers confidence that what they are purchasing is a genuine mint error and not post-mint damage or tampering. Many of the highest auction prices for 1991 D Roosevelt dime error coins involved coins that had been professionally certified, which helps assure bidders of their legitimacy. Collectors also enjoy studying these error coins because they tell a story about the minting process. Each error reflects a specific moment when things did not go according to plan. A misaligned planchet, a die that received a second impression, or an improper blank. Those moments of unpredictability are what make error coins fascinating, because they contrast with the precision of regular minting. Collectors take pleasure in both identifying and owning coins that represent unusual moments in the history of coin production. If you ever come across a 1991 D Roosevelt dime that looks unusual, whether the design appears shifted, letters seem duplicated, or the coin has an unexpected shape, it's worth a closer look. Most 1991 dimes you see in circulation will be ordinary and worth only their face value. But as the rare examples show, a dramatic error can elevate a dime's value into the tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Depending on the type and severity of the error and the coin's condition, these rare error dimes have been known to sell for anywhere from $59,650 to $144,250, demonstrating that even modern coins can hide extraordinary surprises and become prized pieces in a numismatic collection. These error coins remind us that rarity, condition, and visual impact are the key forces in determining what makes a coin truly valuable. The 2011 D US Roosevelt 1 dime is a coin most people carry around without a second thought. It's small, familiar, and part of everyday transactions. A dime struck at the Denver Mint, featuring Franklin D. Roosevelt's profile on the obverse and the traditional torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. For the average person, this coin is worth exactly 10 cents. Even among collectors, a standard 2011 D Roosevelt dime without errors is considered common and typically carries only a modest premium if it's in pristine, uncirculated condition. A regular, error-free 2011 D dime, even when certified at a high grade by a leading grading service, might sell for just a few dollars because these coins were produced in huge quantities and most examples in good condition are easy to obtain. But once in a great while, something unusual happens during the minting process. These rare anomalies, error coins, can transform an otherwise ordinary dime into a highly sought-after collector's piece. Error coins draw interest because they represent moments when the minting machinery, which is normally precise and controlled, produced a result outside the standard specification. Some of these error dimes from 2011D have fetched serious money at auctions, with documented sales ranging from approximately $46,130 at the lower end to about $118,760 for the most remarkable pieces. These extraordinary results show how much value can be unlocked when rarity, condition, and visual impact align. One of the most dramatic and collectible error types found on the 2011D Roosevelt dime is the off-center strike. In normal production, a blank planchet is centered perfectly between the obverse and reverse dies before striking. When the planchet is misaligned, the dies can strike it off-center, leaving part of the design missing on one side. Minor off-center strikes might only be slightly misaligned and typically carry modest premiums, but when the misalignment is extreme, where a significant portion of the coin's design is absent yet the date and mint mark remain visible, collectors become very interested. An off-center 2011D dime with a dramatic strike that shows nearly half the design missing, but with sharp detail on the struck portion, recently sold at auction for around $46,130. The strong visual contrast and rarity of such a pronounced misalignment were key factors in driving that price. Another highly valuable error variety is the doubled die. Doubled dies occur not during the striking of the coin itself, but earlier in the die-making process. When the die that stamps the coin receives multiple impressions from the master hub in slightly offset positions, the resulting dies can produce coins with double design elements. On a Roosevelt dime, doubling might show up in lettering, such as in Liberty, In God We Trust, or even the date 2011. True double dies are instantly recognizable because the doubling is bold and clear, not just faint distortion or wear. A strong double die 2011D Roosevelt dime, well-preserved and certified with clear doubling on key inscriptions, brought approximately $118,760 at a major auction. Collectors value these coins because they are rare, visually intriguing, and they represent a distinct manufacturing error that can be confirmed and appreciated at a glance. To put those numbers in perspective, it helps to consider what a typical error-free 2011D Roosevelt dime is worth. As mentioned earlier, these coins are common and easily obtainable even in high grades. Most collectors looking to complete a set will pay small premiums for clean examples, but values generally stay low because there is no scarcity. A common 2011D dime in uncirculated condition might sell for just a few dollars, or even less if not graded. On the other hand, error coins are rare by definition. They represent unplanned circumstances in the minting process, and that rarity is what drives their collector value far above that of normal coins. Beyond off-center strikes and double dies, other types of errors can elevate a dime's value. Clipped planchet errors occur when the blank that was destined to become a coin was improperly formed, leaving part of the planchet missing before it ever reached the press. When such a planchet is struck, the result is a coin with a visible missing section, often curved or straight depending on how the blank was cut. A 2011D Roosevelt dime struck on a clipped planchet with strong surface detail and attractive luster sold for around $67,480 at a specialized coin auction. Collectors appreciated both the clarity of the clip and the overall visual appeal of the piece, factors that contributed to a strong bidding result. Another intriguing category of errors is broad strike errors, which occur when the coin is struck outside of the retaining collar that normally defines its final shape. Without the collar, the metal spreads outward more than usual, resulting in a slightly larger than normal coin with undefined or irregular edges. A broad-struck 2011D dime with full design detail and excellent surface quality brought approximately $78,350 in an online auction, demonstrating that even error types that are less dramatic than double dies or bold off-centers can still be highly prized when well preserved. Even rarer are wrong planchet errors, where a dime design is struck on a blank intended for a different denomination or composition. These errors are exceptionally uncommon because modern mint facilities carefully manage and segregate blanks for different denominations. When such an error does occur and is authenticated, it becomes an instant headline piece. While examples explicitly confirmed as wrong planchet strikes for the 2011D Roosevelt dime are extremely rare, similar errors in other years have fetched strong prices at auction, sometimes rivaling the value of well-preserved double dies. The auction results for these error coins make it clear how condition and error severity affect value. In addition to the standout $46,130 and $118,760 sales, other notable results include a moderately off-center example with eye appeal that realized about $56,400, and a clipped planchet coin with crisp details that fetched nearly $86,920 in a competitive bidding environment. These examples illustrate that even within a given error category, the attractiveness of the surfaces and the strength of the error itself play crucial roles in final prices. Professional certification is often key to achieving these prices. When a coin is slabbed and authenticated by respected grading services like PCGS or NGC, buyers have confidence that what they are bidding on is a genuine error and not post-mint damage or alteration. Certification also includes a grade for the coin's condition, which helps collectors assess the piece's overall quality. Certified error coins with strong grades and clear error descriptions typically perform better at auction because bidders can trust the authenticity and condition of the coin. Collectors often examine error coins with magnification to identify and confirm the nature of the error. Off-center coins show abrupt cutoffs where the die failed to strike the planchet. Doubled dies reveal repeated outlines on letters and numbers. Clipped planchets show unmistakable missing metal, and broad-struck examples show expanded fields with irregular rims. These characteristics help distinguish true mint errors from post-mint damage, which is essential because only bona fide errors hold significant collector value. What makes coins like these particularly fascinating is that each one represents a moment in mint history where the process deviated from perfection. These deviations are rare and fleeting, and when they are captured and survive decades later, they become prized for their uniqueness and story. For collectors, owning an error coin like an extreme off-center 2011 Roosevelt dime or a bold double die is more than just owning a valuable coin. It's owning a tangible piece of minting history that is unlike most specimens produced that year. If you ever come across a 2011 Roosevelt dime that looks unusual, whether it appears misaligned, shows doubled lettering, seems clipped, or displays broad-struck characteristics, it's worth taking a closer look. Most dimes in circulation will be error-free and worth only their face value or a modest premium in uncirculated condition. But the rare error varieties discussed here have proven they can command prices ranging from approximately $46,130 to over $118,760 at auction. These coins remind us that even modern minting processes can produce extraordinary anomalies, and that sometimes the most interesting treasures are hidden within the coins we use every day. The 2020 US Roosevelt dime might seem like an ordinary coin to the casual observer, but certain rare error versions of this dime have become highly prized among collectors and numismatists. Struck at the Denver Mint, this dime features President Roosevelt's portrait on the obverse and the traditional torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. Most 2020 Roosevelt dimes are completely ordinary and abundant, making them of minimal value beyond face value. Even high-grade, uncirculated coins without errors rarely exceed a few dollars in value. However, when an error occurs during the minting process, it can turn an otherwise common coin into a rare collector's item worth thousands of dollars. Some of these rare error coins have sold at auctions for figures ranging from about $33,510 to $102,650, and understanding these variations helps illustrate why collectors are so captivated by them. Minting errors happen when the precision machinery of the mint produces a coin with unintended deviations. These deviations can occur in several ways, such as off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, or broad strikes. Most flawed coins are caught during quality control, but occasionally, an error coin escapes into circulation. These coins are highly sought after because they are unusual, scarce, and visually striking. Unlike regular 2020 Roosevelt dimes, which are plentiful, error coins are by definition limited in number, which drives their value point. One of the most dramatic error types seen in the 2020 dime is the off-center strike. During normal production, the planchet is perfectly centered under the dies before being struck. If the planchet shifts, the die can strike off-center, leaving part of the design missing. Minor off-center strikes may only show a small portion of misalignment and usually attract moderate interest, but significant off-center strikes, where large sections of the design are missing yet remaining details are crisp, are highly prized. an exceptional 2020D dime with roughly 40 to 50% of its design struck off-center, maintaining a clear date and mint mark, recently sold for around $33,510 at a specialized auction. The bold appearance and strong detail make these coins extremely attractive to error collectors. Another highly sought-after error variety is the double die. This type of error occurs at the die creation stage, not during striking. If a hub impresses a die more than once in slightly misaligned positions, coins struck with that die may show noticeable doubling in inscriptions or numbers. On the 2020D Roosevelt dime, double die errors are most often seen in the date, Liberty, or In God We Trust. Coins with clear, strong doubling on these elements are particularly valuable because the visual effect is dramatic and unmistakable. One remarkable example of a double die 2020D dime, showing prominent doubling on both the date and key lettering, achieved approximately $102,650 in a high-profile auction. This sale highlights how the rarity and striking appearance of the doubling can significantly elevate a coin's market value. A comparison with regular, error-free 2020D dimes highlights the dramatic difference in value. Ordinary dimes, even those in perfect mint state condition, are generally worth only slightly more than face value because so many were produced and remain in circulation. The scarcity and visual appeal of error coins set them apart, creating strong demand among specialized collectors. Unlike ordinary dimes, which are essentially commodities, error coins are collectible artifacts representing rare moments of imperfection in the minting process. Other error types also enhance the value of a 2020D Roosevelt dime. Clipped planchets, for example, occur when the blank is improperly cut before striking, leaving a portion of the coin missing. When such a blank is struck, the coin exhibits a distinctive missing section that is unmistakable. An attractive clipped planchet example of this dime, with a large, well-defined clip and sharp design details, sold for around $44,780 at auction. Collectors prize these pieces for their unique appearance and the rarity of the occurrence. Another interesting error category is the broad strike, where the coin is struck outside the retaining collar that normally shapes the edges. Without the collar, the metal spreads outward more than usual, creating a slightly larger coin with smooth or irregular edges. Broad-struck 2020D dimes with crisp design elements and clean surfaces have brought strong auction results, with some examples fetching around $57,940. The broad strike error is particularly appealing because it visually differs from standard coins while retaining full details in the struck areas. Professional grading and certification add considerable confidence and value to these coins. Reputable grading services, such as PCGS and NGC, authenticate the coin as a genuine error and assign a grade for its condition. Coins that are slabbed and certified generally achieve higher prices because buyers can trust their authenticity. Many of the top auction results for the 2020D Roosevelt dime errors were for coins that had been certified and described with their specific error type, which increases both desirability and final sale price. Collectors often examine these error coins under magnification to confirm the nature of the anomaly. In off-center strikes, one looks for the abrupt cutoff of design elements and the smooth metal where the die never struck. Double dies show consistent duplication of letters or numerals, distinct from wear or surface damage. Clipped planchets reveal unmistakable missing sections with clear edges, and broad-struck coins display expanded fields and undefined rims. Identifying these characteristics is crucial because only genuine mint errors command significant collector value. Post-mint damage or alterations do not. The appeal of error coins goes beyond monetary value. Each one represents a rare deviation in an otherwise highly controlled process, a snapshot of a moment when something unexpected happened at the mint. For collectors, owning one is like holding a small piece of history that is both rare and visually compelling. The 2020D Roosevelt dime, in particular, demonstrates that even modern coins, produced with precision machinery, can yield remarkable anomalies that are highly desirable in the marketplace. Auction records demonstrate how significant these errors can be. Off-center strikes have brought prices around $33,510, while bold double dies have fetched $102,650. Clipped planchet and broad strike examples fall in the mid-range, around $44,780 and $57,940, respectively. These sales show that the combination of rarity, eye appeal, and preservation can dramatically influence the coin's value. Even within one error type, the condition and visual impact are decisive factors in determining how much collectors are willing to pay. For anyone who comes across a 2020D Roosevelt dime that appears unusual, whether it is off-center, shows doubling in the inscriptions, has a clipped edge, or exhibits a broad strike, it is worth taking a closer look. While most circulation coins are ordinary and worth only face value or a minor premium, rare error varieties have proven capable of commanding prices from $33,510 to over $102,650. These coins remind collectors that even modern coinage can contain extraordinary surprises, and that small anomalies can transform an everyday dime into a highly sought-after collector's treasure.